morning to Princess Chronicles times Deux. That would be two. That would be the princess over there.
Right.
Yes, Princess Linda with Celebrity Palm Austin, our crown prince of the show. And then over here we have Celebrity Palm Jilly, who now has her paw in my ear. And I'm Princess Deborah, and we welcome you this week. It's a great Memorial Day weekend. I think a lot of people are out and social distancing with their family and friends, which is good. We need to be out a little bit. So we have a special guest this week that is in the waiting room right now, but right quick, Linda and I are going to do a quick rundown of our week. What exciting things happened to you this week, Miss Linda?
Well, I continue to see a little Rona crazy out there. So that was a little exciting for me. And I know we're going to get to that, but that just continues to play out for me. I brought someone special for you, Deborah, because I know how much you love teddy bears.
Oh.
So I did bring my friend in today. So that's a little crazy too. The whole dating scene with Corona can be a little crazy. I had a friend this week who actually reached out for a dating coach on Match.com. And I had gotten this bear a few years ago in the mail from one date I went out and sent me this huge teddy bear. So I know it's a little crazy out there in the dating world. So I think, that's been a little crazy for me. The news has been a little crazy. We're seeing some really wild things coming about, people just trying to make some money, I think, out there in this crazy world. But I think that's what's been going on for me this week is just the news. Of course, I'm going to have to mention it right now. I don't know what's going on with President-elect Joe Biden. That was a little nutty for me. Some of his comments out there in the media. There's t-shirts now trending. So I think the news just continues to be a little bit crazy. What about
between that and the president going out without a mask, and everybody has their choice to wear a mask or not wear a mask. I'm not going to beat somebody up. I personally wear a mask. I know that you do. I don't know that I'm ready to be in big crowds, quite frankly. And my dilemma this week, although it made my heart sore, was my longtime hairdresser, Mason Shoup at Blown Salon in Old Town Alexandria, said that, if I was ready, that he would kind of quarantine and do my hair. And Lord knows I've got 4-inch roots. For all of those of you who thought I was a natural blonde, maybe not. And it's just, so I kind of had to think about it. Do I really want to risk it yet? And I don't know. I just don't know. I really don't want this virus. Oh, Austin, you're so cute. At least he lets you put a bandana on him. Somebody here doesn't.
That was the groomer. He went to the groomer.
The other thing this week, she's going to turn her head. She goes, "We're not paying her enough."
Oh.
I figured the royal palms at this, castle are very spoiled. Somebody another friend put up something on Facebook yesterday about, the biggest fear of your dog, and hers is cranes. Jack's is that the greenies, the little dental greenies, run out because God forbid. And we still have not coaxed him on air yet. He seems to like to sleep in the royal foyer.
Well, it is a little early for him on this Saturday morning. I mean, we are drinking. I'm having, of course, a lady never tells what's in her orange juice, but I'm just having a little orange juice this morning. And of course, Austin likes his morning walks. He's more worried about not having a walk daily than anything. And that's another thing we'll get to. One of my new favorite things I found on my walk this week with Austin. So.
Was it a boy?
He is a boy, so he can't find a boy. But, there's a lot of single men walking around the streets these days. But, they're out there in Rona, Brambleton.
In Rona land, yes. We don't know who they've been in contact with, so one has to be careful. The dating scene on my hallway has gotten interesting.
Really?
Apparently they took off for a trip. So, ooh.
That's a little naughty.
That was pretty good. Yeah. So that was interesting this week. Oh, we had a fire alarm and we had to evacuate the Royal Palace.
Oh my, that must have been a shit show.
To put it mildly. Someone got the poopy scared out of her, and I'm not going to mention any names.
Exactly. Well, I do want to tell you something right now, Deborah. We do have somebody in our waiting room.
We do have someone in our waiting room. Do you want to introduce him?
Well, this fabulous gentleman, I would have to say he's one of the most well-groomed through Rona times. Like I've seen a few men out there that need a little facial grooming. Somehow he's keeping it sharp. He's keeping it together. This is Gregory Michael from Indochino.
Good morning, Gregory.
Oh, let him in. Hold on. Okay, I'm letting him in.
Let that handsome boy in.
He's joining. We have to wait a few moments while he connects.
Well, and frankly, I love having him on because he is, if I had to list, 10 of the men in Washington that were impeccably well groomed, this one would be in the top 5, absolutely. And
wow.
Yeah, he just makes my heart soar every time I see him because he's so well put together. And a lot of men, quite frankly, we've seen, they'd like to just walk around the house in their shorts and not shave and not groom and ooh, yuck.
You look so fabulous. Look at the striped jacket. Is that for Memorial Day, the red, white, and blue?
Actually, no. We just wanted to keep it a little bit simple for everybody today and just, make sure that I match the aesthetic of the environment that you guys want to be in. I'm a fan of your show, so.
Well, thank you. We're a big fan of you too, Gregory. We have a couple questions for you. First of all, I would love to know if you've always dressed this way. I can honestly see you as a little boy dressed to the T.
Well, honestly, I actually had to learn all this. I actually was not born this dapper, believe it or not. I actually used to make the mistake of, wearing suspenders with a belt and everything back in the day before I was properly indoctrinated in the art of sartorius. So, but it was a beautiful thing to really be able to take this lifestyle head on. And I appreciate the results, as you can see. So.
You are always just absolutely gorgeous. So what have you been doing during the whole Rona crisis? It's a little crazy times.
It has definitely been a crazy time. So, and during these difficult times, I felt the need to give back. So, as a lot of us have already seen, the textile industry, the fashion industry, the style industry have really given back to the communities that we live in, to the world, honestly, by being able to provide protective professional equipment, PPE. So
right.
I've been spending the majority of my time is making sure that the hospitals, the old folks homes, the et cetera, in the area have the appropriate materials that they need to be able to be safe.
That is so commendable. Anybody that can do that is, it's helping preserve life, frankly, and we all need to do it. We've had a rude awakening the last few months. I mean, we've gone from 120 down to 0, cranking it down and figuring out what's real for all of us.
Yes.
So Michael,
post-COVID lifestyle.
Michael, what do you think lays ahead for you? Like with your business, I know that you work for a custom tailor suits company. I know that it's been your passion. You put so much into that. The suits are amazing. So what do you think with that is going to lie ahead right now?
Well, right now, it really just comes back to what it's always been about, being customer centric. Mm-hmm. Post-COVID lifestyle is one where we have to be very cautious and we have to respect social distancing, of course. Okay. But most importantly, our mission doesn't change. Now, you brought up that I have worked in partnership with Indochino, made to measure, for example. Okay. That right there really goes back to our core values. What Indochino was created for was to take the mysticism out of traditional menswear clothing and make it something where you had exceptional value, but you were also able to espouse your own values and your own personal sense of style. So for us, it's always been about that people connection. You know, we didn't start out initially as a, traditional retailer. We were traveling tailors. We were in your home and everything online as it was in the first place. So we just went back to our initial model and we kept the customer first, you know?
Right. I found as I got to know you through friends, other friends, with the Perry Belmont and
Yeah,
with Deux, that your price points with Indochino when you work with them is they're amazing for the quality of product that you guys do for men. And when we visited you at the W, when you had your, pop up at the W, I was extremely impressed. I mean, you had men coming in and out of there that were, some of the top businessmen in the city, and you were putting them in the suits, and they look great. They look fabulous.
You even had the GM of the W Hotel getting like probably 3 or 4 suits with you. So that was very impressive. And I know they're really into supporting the arts and looking fabulous. And so I think you have a strong brand. And so tell me, Michael, a little bit about yourself. Like, how do you describe your personality, your personal style, maybe in a few words?
Well, if I was going to sum it up, I would say contrite, serious, and well-versed. What we try to do with the consultations that I provide is we make it about you. In menswear, the worst thing right now in menswear for me is people use it as a facilitation of their own ego. They try to become their own little mini celebrity just because they happen to be dapper or they dress well or have access to some cloth. That's not how we traditionally do things in the business. It's about the client. We are not the show. We're here to make sure that you are able to capture your own iconography and speak to your values and philosophies through your clothing. So I make sure that the power stays within my clients' hands. And I'm a facilitator of whatever it is that they need for them to go to the next level in their wardrobe, in their professions, in their lifestyle. So
very impressed when we were at the W and kind of sitting on the sidelines. I was very impressed with the way you work with your clients. It's like being with an old school tailor, quite frankly. And it's, that to me, that's the kind of customer service that not only women want, but men do too. Men do too. Men like to look good.
Yes, they do.
So could you give our male audience a couple of tips, maybe some fashion tips that you think are important, particularly these days, while they're staying at home and maybe going into work a little bit?
Mm-hmm. Of course, absolutely. For men, gentlemen, 3 things. Very, very simple. 1, care about how it is you're presented and make sure that it speaks to who you are. Okay? Follow through all the way. Yes, you can only see me from the waist up right now, but I have the entire look put together. Okay.
You don't have jogging pants on underneath? No. Oh, Gregory, what a disappointment.
That would be
nothing on below? Come on.
No.
You got some pants on?
You have to follow through. You must follow through. Second, what I definitely say as far as men is be comfortable with the process. It's okay. We are men. We coming in here to make sure that you look the way it is you want to look. Come with questions. Be hands-on. Don't be afraid to ask whatever it is you want to ask. This is a place of acceptance. I always say it's an exclusive experience that's all inclusive.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Linda, were you going to say something?
No, I was just I'm getting this dog right now on me. Austin, he's getting me hot. It's hot.
So Gregory, we have a little segment called Our Favorite Things. Could you give us one of your favorite things?
One of my favorite things is I am a eyewear aficionado. Okay, I absolutely love luxury and vintage sunglasses. So that right there allows me to know that the man that I'm dealing with understands the subtlety, the little things. That is ideal. When you have great eyewear, you are definitely breaking the mold, and you are able to make a Hollywood statement no matter where you go.
That's fabulous. Gregory, we want to thank you so much for being our first guest. I really wanted men to watch this show too. Just because it says Princess Chronicles times Deux doesn't mean it's just for women. And
Right.
it's such a pleasure to have you on. I'm so honored that you joined us. You have a great Memorial Day weekend. Stay safe, my friend. And we look forward to seeing you on the other side.
Aurora, yes,
My way.
fashion is going to stay alive. Peace.
Yes, it will. It will.
Have a great weekend. Thank you.
Thank
You
you.
too. Happy Memorial Day.
Happy
Thank you so much.
Let's give a little shout out. We love America.
We do love America, and we absolutely want to remember those that served and didn't come home. It's, it's part of the fabric of our of our country, and particularly now we still have men and women overseas serving this country, and at any given time something can happen to them. But our veterans that didn't come home, we need to remember them and the sacrifice that they did and their families. So with that, remember what this day is for. That's all I'm going to say, is remember what this day is for, or this weekend is for, and this holiday. Just a couple of other things, and Greg, you're welcome to stay on with us. We would love that. So, Linda, I have my favorite thing. I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to hold it up to the camera.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm having a little Versace moment this morning with, of course, grapefruit juice, because it's a little early for me to start partaking in alcohol. So that's my favorite thing. And, I'm so funny about these glasses. I just really have a hard time letting anybody else drink out of them at my house. My man in my life, I'm like, you be careful with that. That is not a beer can, honey.
That is not a beer can. It's got a nice stem on there. It's called stemware. And I said that
it is stemware.
Gregory, I said that to Michael Gregory. I said that to someone. I said, well, that's called stemware. And he was like,
Yeah.
That's not a tumbler. That's stemware. He's like, I've never heard it called that before.
Well, they kicked me out of finishing school.
Exactly.
So, I mean.
Proper etiquette is always a must.
I've been asked to leave so many things up there.
Great things this week was Lady Gaga in InStyle magazine. I don't know if you've seen the shoot. Some fabulous fashion in here. She, again, is just doing her thing. I love it. I was listening to her national anthem today on YouTube at the Super Bowl and for Memorial Day, but this is one of my favorite things for the May 2020 InStyle magazine for Lady Gaga is featured on the cover. So kudos to that.
And I'm not going to try to one-up you, but I'm just saying, I got my Vogue this week. And
name dropper.
It's a little thin. I think the magazine, and it's beautiful inside. I mean, the shoots and stuff are great. The magazines are really hurting for content and trying to get it there. And it's hard to do the shoots right now. In fact, our very good friend up in New York with the Confessional showroom is opening back up in June. And he says he's got stylists calling him right and left to be able to come grab, designer clothes so that they can do shoots for magazines, because the magazines are calling them, trying to get everything.
Princess Deborah, another one of my favorite things is Gucci this week. Have you seen their campaign? Models are taking photos at home. I love it. They're in their gardens, they're in their houses, they're shooting in their homes, maybe taking a little of their own photos. I like that. I like it's raw, it's real, it's depicting. How do you say that word? Anyway, it shows our times right now with Corona and COVID. I think we have to stay safe. And shooting at home and doing your fashion, and like Gregory does, he's looking fabulous. He's still, wearing his suits, his style, his glam. We've got our bling to bling. So I like it.
Style's not going to die. I mean, it's just
and
not.
creativity is never going to pass. So
yeah. I mean, people like to look good and well put together, and they're just not going to abandon that. So I want to take a few minutes and talk about what we call, Gregory, we call it COVID crazy,
Yeah.
because there's some crazy stuff. And this is where I have to say to our audience, I don't know what might come out of my mouth because I've seen some crazy stuff. It hasn't hit all the mainstream like I thought it would, but it will. The whole paint fighting Tampa, Florida. OMG, Lord above heaven. You just pull up paint fight at Home Depot on your, Google, and honest to God.
Only in America.
Okay, so quite frankly, I haven't seen it anywhere else, so only in America. But there are grown-ass men out there throwing buckets of paint on each other, still don't know what started the fight, if somebody pulled in front of somebody in the pickup truck or what. But once again, just one more reason for me not to move to Tampa.
All I gotta say,
love Tampa. Beautiful city.
Is that if I was there and somebody got paint on my clothes, bless their heart, because I'm not going to be happy. And that manager probably got out in that parking and was like, you grown-ass men are going to pick this crap up. I mean, it's like children. It's like children. You have to clean your mess up. But people throwing paint cans at each other, that tops the cafeteria fights with children.
What was so bad is the employee for Home Depot, because he was out there in his orange vest and everything, he was a tiny little guy. I mean, he was a tiny little guy. And he was trying to, keep the peace after all this is going on. He was probably sitting out there. But I noticed there wasn't a mask in sight. Nobody had a mask on.
COVID crazy. That is COVID crazy. Grown ass.
Yeah, that one was a poopy show. That one absolutely was a poopy show.
I've never in my life paint of all things, though, because paint can't clean up that easy. Can you imagine the parking lot?
Yeah. Never going anywhere.
No. What did you say? What did you say, Gregory?
It's not going anywhere. It's not something that you're just going to be able to wipe off. You don't call a hazard team for that. You don't put the sign up for that. So
you're right.
Hey, Gregory, cover your ears. Cover your ears for a minute, because we have to give our dickwad. We have to give our dickwad award this week for the person that's the biggest ass.
Oh,
do you have? Yeah. And if you have one, please share.
I don't have one, but I will. The next time I come on, I promise you I will. Next time I come on, I promise you I will. So
yeah. Mine are the little terrorist groups that feel they've got to come out with their machine gun type guns and shoot people just because we've started opening up. So you guys go crawl back in your rat holes.
Be a toad. You're a toad.
Yeah, absolutely toads. And we had 2 incidents right off the bat this week. And I'm a girl that was raised in Texas, and I'm going to call bullshit on that. I know. Cover your ears. This is not a show for children.
No,
it really isn't. So do you have someone this week?
I have someone, and mine goes to the guy with the baseball bat. So there was a gentleman who took a baseball bat to an employee at a hotel because he couldn't get his Expedia refund and couldn't quite understand that Expedia refunds come from Expedia, not the hotel. So he went out to his car, got a baseball bat, came back and started swinging it at the people behind the desk. And then came back later and tried to break back in after the cops came back. So guys, please leave your baseball bats at home. Don't attack the employees. It's not their fault. They're just following the rules. But a baseball bat. So that's my dickwad award of the week, the guy with the baseball bat. And this happened.
Well, I have one more, and he was arrested yesterday. Thank God. And we, again, loosely speaking, the gentleman who took the video of our jogger down in South Carolina, Aubrey, who was murdered, and they arrested him. So here, the truth comes out, and what goes around comes around. So it's
indeed,
sad. Some of the stuff we're seeing though, it's just sad. But anyway, we'll move on to a different topic because we do have to stay happy.
I know we're gonna have to close it out. Darn it. We've got 5 minutes though. We've got 5 minutes.
Well,
So,
ladies, I'm going to leave you to it.
okay.
And thank you so much for having me. And I will be tuning in as I have been every Saturday.
Well,
Oh,
send your friends over. Tell them to watch us. We love audiences that subscribe, and we're doing a crown giveaway drawing next week. We will announce who the winner is, who's getting a crown just like ours, because and men can wear crowns too.
Yeah.
And he's
Yes,
out of
okay.
here. We'll see you, Greg.
I'll be seeing you soon, y'all.
Okay, take
Thank
care.
you for joining
Take care.
Chronicles ×2.
So, Linda,
Yes.
any parting words for everyone?
Well, I just want to continue to say subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. It is Memorial Day weekend, so we definitely want to boost our subscription. We want to give a shout out again to our great country, right?
God bless America.
God bless America. We're cutting a little short being it's a holiday weekend. And we appreciate all of our followers. We want to have more guests on. We want to hear from you. We want feedback, comment. Don't forget our Venmos and our PayPals, of course. We
got to get that production value up.
I actually forgot to put my overhead light on today, but that's okay.
Yeah, so somebody's off to a vineyard, and we won't say which one because apparently social media doesn't want us advertising vineyards. For anyone under 18 years of age, do not drink alcohol, children.
Do not, and also do not gamble. No, that's another story.
Yeah.
We're not.
I'll see you on the other side, girl. You
All right. Well, happy Memorial Day. Love you, Princess Deborah.
Love you, Princess Deborah. Love you, Prince Austin and baby Julie.
And don't forget
And
our
Teddy.
teddy bear. Our teddy bear. This is because Deborah loves teddy bears.
Yeah. I'm a grown-ass woman who loves teddy bears.
Grown-ass woman, grown-ass men do not throw paint cans. Stop. No more paint, okay?
See you, everybody.